Chapter 2. The First Transformation. Gladiona's first steps out of the Eldoria's grand archive were hesitant, not out of fear, but a deep reverence for the journey ahead. The transformation had not only altered her appearance, but had given her a new perspective on life. As she ventured into the Thalendra forest, the verdant canopy above seemed to welcome her, whispering secrets only known to those who embraced change. The magical pin had not only transformed Gladiona, but also imbued her with a sense of connection to the world around her. She felt a deep kinship with the murmuring leaves and the shy creatures peeping from behind the trees. As Gladiona made her way deeper into the forest, she experimented with the hairpin, discovering its abilities. With a touch, she could revert to her original form, and with another, she transformed back. The realization that she could change at will filled her with excitement and a sense of empowerment. She pondered on how many lives could be touched and transformed by this magic. Gladiona's contemplations were interrupted by a soft rustling in the underbrush. Anxiously, she clasped the hairpin, ready to transform if the need arose. What emerged from the foliage was not a creature of danger, but one of wonder. A fox, but unlike any she had seen before. Its fur shimmered with myriad colors, reflecting the light of the setting sun. The fox tilted its head, regarding Gladiona with an intelligence and curiosity that belied its woodland origins. "You are not like the others who traverse these woods," the fox spoke. Gladiona gasped. The creature was speaking in the ancient tongue of Eldoria, a language lost to all but a few. "I am on a quest," Gladiona responded, finding that she too could speak in the forgotten dialect. Another gift of the transformation, a quest to share this magic with those who need it. The fox nodded, its tail flicking thoughtfully. "Many paths lie before you, some fraught with peril, others with wonder. I can guide you through Thalendra, for it is treacherous to those unfamiliar with its ways." Grateful for the offer, Gladiona accepted. Together, they ventured deeper into the forest, the magical fox leading the way. The encounter reinforced Gladiona's resolve to share the magic, but it also served as a reminder of the challenges she would face. For every heart open to change, there would be obstacles, both internal and external, to overcome. But for now, she had a guide, and the path ahead seemed a little less daunting. The mystical forest of Thalendra, with its enchanting hues and ethereal lights, seemed to celebrate Gladiona's newfound journey. The magical color-shifting fox, whom she named Lirio, became her confidant and guide. Their bond deepened as they ventured into the unknown together, with Lirio leading her through the dense, whispering foliage. Gladiona's confidence grew with each step, a testament to the transformation she had undergone. The magical hairpin, while seemingly insignificant in appearance, held immense power, and she marveled at its capabilities. As Lirio led Gladiona through the winding paths of Thalendra, the fox shared tales of the forest's history and magic. Gladiona listened intently, absorbing the stories and lessons, finding comfort in Lirio's presence. The magic that surrounded them seemed to resonate with her own, creating a harmony between her being and the natural world. It was during one of their nightly stops under the canopy of glowing leaves that Gladiona decided to experiment further with the hairpin. In the quiet of the forest, under a blanket of stars, Gladiona carefully removed the pin and witnessed her form revert to its original state. The realization that the transformation was reversible filled her with a sense of empowerment and possibility. She spent the night shifting between forms, marveling at the fluidity of her identity and the magic at her fingertips. Each transformation brought a new perspective, a new understanding of herself and the world around her. With the dawn came a renewed sense of purpose. Gladiona tucked the hairpin securely in her hair once again, embracing her chosen form. She and Lirio set out with the sun climbing higher, the forest awash in golden light. The magic of Thalendra seemed to guide them, leading them to paths untrodden and vistas unseen. Along the way, Gladiona contemplated the gift she held. She envisioned sharing the magic of the hairpin with others, offering them the chance to explore their own identities, to transform not just physically, but spiritually. Yet, for all the wonder the magic brought, Gladiona understood the journey ahead would not be without its trials. The world beyond Thalendra's borders was vast and varied, filled with beings who may not understand or accept the magic she offered. But armed with the knowledge of her own transformation and the support of Lirio, she felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As Gladiona and Lirio emerged from the shadowed embrace of Thalendra's border, the vibrant light of dawn danced off the dew-soaked leaves, casting an ethereal glow upon their path. Gladiona's heart swelled with a sense of purpose and newfound confidence, her strides carrying her forward with an elegant grace she was still acquainting herself with. The magical hairpin, now a symbol of her transformation and promise, shimmered softly beneath her hair. She couldn't help but reach up to touch it, ensuring its presence was not a fleeting dream. The journey to the nearby village was uneventful, yet filled with the small wonders of the world beyond the forest. Gladiona watched with curious eyes as creatures of all shapes and sizes went about their lives, undisturbed by the complexities of identity and transformation that weighed heavily on human minds. It was a serene reminder of nature's acceptance, something she hoped to find in the hearts of those she aimed to help. As the duo approached the village, the atmosphere shifted. A palpable tension hung in the air, a stark contrast to the freedom and acceptance they had experienced within Thalendra's embrace. The villagers, rugged and worn from a life of toil, cast wary glances their way, unaccustomed to visitors and the unfamiliar magic they brought with them. Gladiona, sensing the skepticism and fear that clouded the villagers' eyes, turned to Lirio with a determined gaze. "It seems our journey's first test has arrived," she whispered, her voice steady. "Let us approach with open hearts and minds, offering understanding and compassion as our guides." Lirio nodded, his loyalty to Gladiona unwavering. Together, they stepped into the village, ready to face the challenge. They were greeted with hushed murmurs and watchful eyes. Gladiona spoke first, her voice carrying a gentle yet confident tone. "We come in peace, bearing gifts of magic and transformation for those who seek change. This magic has brought me immense joy and understanding of myself, and I wish to share it with you." The villagers, while initially skeptical, listened. Gladiona's sincerity and the visible change in her demeanor sparked curiosity among them. It was a small opening, but it was all that was needed to begin sowing the seeds of understanding and acceptance in this new land. Against a backdrop of creeping dusk, the village square, now a crucible of transformational stories, bore witness to the unfurling of lives long shadowed by the unspoken. One by one, villagers stepped forward, their voices weaving a tapestry of longing and desperation that had lurked behind the facades of daily toil and laughter. An elder, his back bent not just from age, but the weight of a secret, shared his tale. "For years, I've lived behind this mask," he began, his voice trembling like autumn leaves. "But inside, I've always known I was not who the world insisted I be." His eyes, weathered from the passage of countless seasons, glistened with a hope reborn as he looked upon Gladiona, a beacon of the possibility he had never dared dream. A young girl, scarcely in her youth, stepped shyly forward next, clutching a doll to her chest. "I don't want to wear dresses anymore," she whispered, her voice barely rising above the hush of the gathering night. "I want to climb trees and hunt with the boys, but they say I can't because I'm not one of them." In her eyes, a spark ignited, fueled by Gladiona's tale of transformation and freedom. With each story shared, the air around the villagers seemed to lighten, as if the very act of voicing their innermost yearnings was a liberation in itself. Gladiona, moved by the courage and vulnerability of the villagers, felt a profound connection to their plights. It was a reflection of her own journey, a path marked by confusion, fear, and ultimately the euphoria of finding one's true self. Lirio, who had been a silent sentinel beside Gladiona, now stepped forward, his presence a steadying force. "The magic of transformation, as bestowed upon us by the cosmos, is a rare gift," he intoned, his words weaving a spell of solemnity over the gathered. "And it is meant to be shared, to uplift and liberate those who find themselves ensnared in a reality that does not reflect their true essence." As the night deepened, transforming the square into a realm of shadow and luminescent starlight, Gladiona made a solemn vow. She would traverse the myriad realms, spreading the gospel of transformation, offering solace to those hidden behind veils of conformity. But before setting off on such an odyssey, she knew there was much to be learned and understood, not just about the magic she wielded, but about the myriad experiences of those she sought to aid. This village, with its tapestry of hidden pains and unspoken dreams, was but the first step on a journey that promised to reshape the fabric of countless lives. Dawn's tender light caressed the village, painting the world in hues of gold and amber, as Gladiona and Lirio, her unwavering companion, gathered the villagers for an announcement. The air bristled with anticipation, the villagers encircling them, eager to hear what the two had to say. Today we set forth on a journey. Gladiona began, her voice imbued with a newfound courage, a journey that transcends the boundaries of our humble village to realms unknown and unexplored. With the magic that has so graciously revealed itself to us, we wish to offer others the same opportunity for transformation that I have experienced. The villagers listened, rapt, as Lirio added, "This magic is a gift, one that can bring joy and peace to those who, like us, feel that the essence of their true selves is trapped within a form that does not reflect who they truly are." The villagers, once skeptical of the magic and its implications, now nodded in understanding and support. They had witnessed the profound transformation in Gladiona, not just physically, but in spirit and heart. They saw a happiness in her that was infectious, a hope that sparked a similar light within their own eyes. Offers of supplies, protection charms, and old lore about the realms beyond their lands were brought forth as the villagers rallied around Gladiona and Lirio, embodying the very essence of community and compassion. As preparations began, Gladiona took a moment to retreat to the quiet solitude of the forest that bordered the village. There, amidst the whispering trees, she whispered her thanks to the magic imbued within the hairpin, promising to use its gift wisely and well. Lirio found her there, a determined look on his face. Together, they mapped out their path, their journey charted not just by the geography of the lands they would traverse, but by the hearts they hoped to touch and transform. With each plan laid and each step taken towards preparation, Gladiona felt a weight lift from her shoulders, a certainty that this path was her true calling. As the day waned and the stars began to twinkle to life in the sky above, they stood together, two souls ready to embark on a quest that would alter the course of their lives and the lives of those they sought to help. The magic of the hairpin was not just a tool for transformation, but a beacon of hope in a world that so desperately needed it. As the dawn crept over the horizon, casting a golden glow over the village, Gladiona and Lirio set forth to the realm of Mirath, their hearts heavy with purpose, yet light with the hope of transformation. The early morning air was crisp, whispering secrets and promises to them as they ventured into the unknown, guided by the spirit of their mission. The path to Mirath was not just a physical journey. It was a pilgrimage towards understanding and acceptance, weaving through forests that seemed to hold their breath and over hills that offered vistas of the world's unrestrained beauty. It was during these moments, amidst the beauty of the natural world, that Gladiona felt the most profound connection to her newfound identity. Each step forward was a declaration of her truth, a truth that the magical hairpin had revealed. The border of Mirath was marked by a river, its waters clear as crystal, reflecting the hopes and dreams of those who sought passage. As they crossed it, a sense of serenity enveloped them, the kind that comes with stepping into a realm where their mission could begin in earnest. Mirath welcomed them with open arms, yet beneath its serene surface, they sensed the silent pleas for change. Their first encounter was with a young artist, Alias, whose paintings were vibrant expressions of his inner turmoil and yearning for a form that matched his soul's palette. Alias had heard rumors of magical transformations, but had never dared to believe until he met Gladiona and Lirio. Hearing Alias's story, Gladiona felt a surge of determination. She shared the magic of the hairpin, and together, they witnessed the incredible transformation that brought Alias's true self into the light. His joy was a vivid reminder of their quest's significance, reinforcing their resolve to spread this magic far and wide. As they prepared to continue their journey, Gladiona and Lirio knew that each transformation would sow seeds of acceptance and understanding, challenging realms to embrace the beauty of true selves. They also realized that their journey was about more than changing forms. It was about changing hearts and minds, one soul at a time. The days spent in Marath were filled with transformation and revelation, each encounter teaching them more about the strength of the human spirit and the transformative power of acceptance. They became beacons of hope, their legacy woven into the fabric of the realm, leaving behind echoes of their mission that would resonate for generations to come. The road to the enclave of the ostracized was a mosaic of verdant forests and sapphire lakes, each step further immersing Gladiona and Lirio in the untouched majesty of Mirath. The morning dew clung to their cloaks, and the sun played hide-and-seek through the canopy of leaves, casting dappled light upon their path. They talked in low, excited tones of the transformations they'd facilitated and the potential of those yet to come. Their hearts were light, buoyed by the purpose that had enfolded their lives in its embrace. Upon reaching the hidden enclave, nestled between two gently sloping hills, they were greeted not with suspicion, but with an air of cautious curiosity. The community, a tapestry of beings each unique in form and spirit, had long lived in the shadows, their differences making them pariahs in the lands beyond. But here, in this secluded haven, they had found a semblance of peace. Gladiona and Lirio were led to a spacious clearing where the elders of the enclave awaited. With a voice tempered by years of quiet defiance, the eldest among them, a figure cloaked in robes that shimmered with the hues of twilight, spoke of their community's story. They spoke of struggle and pain, of love and loss, and of the enduring hope for a world where they could live unmasked and unafraid. Gladiona listened, the magical hairpin warm against her scalp, a silent testament to the journey she had embarked upon. She stepped forward, the gathered crowd parting slightly to allow her passage. She spoke of her own transformation, of the magic that had not only altered her form, but had freed her soul. She spoke of Lirio and of Alias and of the countless others whose lives had been touched by the wonder of the hairpin. And then, with a grace that belied the courage it took to stand before them, she offered the hairpin's gift to any who desired it. The response was a palpable wave of emotion, hope, fear, excitement, and doubt mingling in the air like some potent brew. One by one, individuals stepped forward, each with their own story, their own pain, and their own longing for change. Gladiona and Lirio, with gentle words and tender gestures, facilitated each transformation, the magic of the hairpin weaving new tales of freedom and joy. As the moon rose high, casting its silver glow upon the enclave, the air was filled with laughter and tears, a chorus of newfound happiness that echoed through the hills. It was a night of miracles, of lives reborn and identities reclaimed. When dawn kissed the horizon with hues of pink and gold, Gladiona and Lirio knew it was time to move on. Their journey was far from over. Mirath was vast, and there were many more who yearned for the chance to be themselves. With hearts full of hope and a resolve as steadfast as the mountains, they ventured forth, leaving behind a community forever changed, but connected by the invisible threads of a shared dream. The road to the capital was lined with ancient trees whose roots had delved deep into the earth, much like the traditions and prejudices of Mirath's heartland. Gladiona, once Gladion, now bore not only the transformative hairpin, but also a profound sense of purpose. Beside her, Lirio, ever the steadfast companion, mirrored her determination. Their journey was not merely one of distance, but of enlightenment, carrying with them the promise of liberation and understanding. As they approached the city, Gladiona's new form drew surreptitious glances and whispered speculations. Yet she stood tall, her confidence unshaken. The city, a sprawling maze of stone and ambition, seemed impervious to change. Its walls, both literal and metaphorical, had withstood sieges of war and ideology alike. But Gladiona and Lirio knew that even the hardest stone could be shaped by persistent water. Their first encounter in the bustling city was with a group of skeptics, individuals who viewed their message with disdain. Such magic is unnatural, they claimed, a defiance of the natural order. Gladiona, rather than being deterred, saw in their resistance an opportunity to demonstrate the hairpin's true beauty. With Lirio's support, she organized a gathering in the city's central square, inviting all to witness the transformation firsthand. The event drew curious crowds, skeptics and believers alike. Gladiona stood before them, her voice carrying over the murmurs of disbelief. She spoke of identity and freedom, of the courage to embrace one's true self. Then, with a grace born of conviction, she demonstrated the hairpin's power. The crowd gasped as they witnessed her transformation reverse, revealing Gladion once more before shifting back to Gladiona, a testament to the hairpin's ability to unlock the deepest truths of one's soul. The spectacle softened the skepticism of many, planting seeds of acceptance in hearts once closed. Gladiona and Lirio knew that this was only the beginning of their challenge. The capital, with its ancient prejudices and fears, would not be won over in a single day. But they had made a start, a crack in the city's imposing walls through which the light of understanding could begin to seep. As the sun dipped below the horizon, coloring the sky with hues of change, Gladiona and Lirio prepared for the next phase of their journey. They knew that the road ahead would be fraught with resistance and revelation alike. Yet, they were buoyed by the knowledge that they were not alone in their quest. Across Mirath, there were souls whispering their thanks, emboldened to seek their own transformations. And with each heart changed, the world itself seemed a little more welcoming, a little closer to the dream that had propelled them forth from the enclave. Thus they rested in the inn that night, not as weary travelers, but as harbingers of a future that danced tantalizingly within reach. A future where the essence of one's being was embraced, celebrated, and most importantly, free. As the first light of dawn began to gently pry apart the curtains of night, Gladiona and Lirio prepared for the journey to the outskirts of the city. They shared a silent breakfast, each lost in their own thoughts about the day ahead. The innkeeper, having heard whispers of their deeds, refused to take payment, insisting it was an honor to host such courageous souls. With gratitude, they set forth, the early morning air crisp and promising. They traversed the cobblestone streets, now empty of the bustling crowds that filled them by day. The city's towering structures cast long shadows, making the duo appear as if they were walking through a realm of giants. As they reached the city limits, the landscape transformed. The meticulously built stone houses gave way to scattered communities of makeshift shelters, a stark contrast to the opulence within Mirath's walls. This was a place where those who differed from the norm gathered, a sanctuary for the misunderstood and the marginalized. Approaching the first cluster of homes, Gladiona could feel a hum of anticipation stirring within. Here, in this place of refuge, their message of transformation and acceptance would find fertile ground. They were greeted with cautious curiosity by the residents, their eyes reflecting a mix of hope and skepticism. With a quiet strength, Gladiona addressed the gathered crowd, sharing their story and the magic of the hairpin. Words of empowerment flowed, and as they did, the skepticism began to wane, replaced by a budding sense of possibility. Lirio, ever the eloquent speaker, wove stories of change and growth, painting a vivid picture of a world where everyone could truly be themselves. The residents listened, mesmerized, as Gladiona demonstrated the hairpin's power, the air tinged with magic as the transformation unfolded before their eyes. A murmur of astonishment swept through the crowd, followed by a cascade of questions. Gladiona and Lirio answered each one, their assurance bolstering the courage of those who had lived in the shadows. As the sun climbed higher, the outskirts of Mirath blossomed with conversation and laughter, a community united in their newfound hope. Some stepped forward, eager to experience the transformation for themselves, while others offered words of gratitude, their hearts lifted by the promise of a more accepting future. The day grew old, and as evening approached, Gladiona and Lirio knew their message had taken root. They had sown the seeds of change beyond the city's walls, touching the hearts of those who had long felt unseen. As they made their way back to the inn, the stars beginning to claim the sky, they were not just harbingers of a future anymore. They were architects of it, shaping a world where freedom and identity were celebrated in all their forms.